and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I am Agam Vakil. Well, it's a quiet day of trade today, and it may have seemed like a quiet, close, but it was quite volatile earlier on the session. The good news is that we have recovered a lot from the day's lows that we had made earlier in today's trading session. That said, where we did see advances, and a lot of them, in fact, the benchmarks held on to as much as the levels of around 12,000 on account of some of the large caps, which would include something like a TCS or a Bharti Airtel, both of them advancing in trade. Yes Bank also saw a good day of trade, along with Ultratech Cement and Bajaj Finance also seeing some amount of recovery. On the losing end, we have more pressure on Eicher Motors. Coal India is also down 2.7%. We talk about the coal sector in just a bit. Larsen and Toubro, Indian Oil Corp and ONGC among others, which are losing out. On the NSE 500, not a very encouraging trend when it comes to the advanced decline ratio. 2 gainers for 3 losers. MMTC along with Vodafone Idea and Orient Cement, Navin Fluoroinol standing out in terms of gainers. On the losing end, we have weakness in Suzlon Energy, which has seen some gains of late. Sri Renuka Sugars under pressure. NMDC and Vakrangi. Of course, a lot of the others in some of the usual suspects which show up on your losers list. But let me get in Neeraj Shah, our markets editor, for his thoughts on today's trading day. Neeraj, nowhere as close as how bad it was earlier in the morning.
Remarkable day, isn't it, Agam, in the morning?
Yeah.
I'm sure when you were talking about in the morning shows, and I was talking about in the morning shows, we didn't quite anticipate this.
Yeah.
At open, it opened a bit better than what the SGX Nifty was showing at 6:30 in the morning. But yeah, the pullback has been quite remarkable. Maybe just the market believing that a salvo fired from either side, and now it's done because both sides are talking of de-escalation, and therefore it's back to normalcy. And if, I mean, too soon to call, but the only belief would be that if indeed that is the case, and if crude prices cool off from where they are, the markets would want to look at it as a net positive. So then maybe the focus switches only back to earnings. We'll get to know, but too early to call. In a few hours, Donald Trump will speak, and maybe all of us that we are talking about will hold no relevance. But
yes.
if there's nothing untoward, and if the IT earnings from your pack start coming in well, then maybe, just maybe, and crude cooling off, then maybe there are better times for the bull side. But let's see. As we said yesterday, Agam, if you remember, both of us mentioned this a day at a time. Maybe a day at a time is the best strategy right now.
Absolutely, fair enough. Well, thanks for that perspective there, Neeraj. So, of course, we're going to have to keep an eye on more commentary coming in from across the globe. But as I was suggesting, the coal sector was in focus today, and I'm going to get in Darshan Mehta to talk to us about that. Darshan, what are the updates?
Yeah, so Coal India obviously was in focus. If you just pull up the chart, and you can see the big slide that came in, but it did manage to recover, and the reason here was the cabinet ministry briefing that came in did indicate the fact that they are looking to privatize some of the coal mines. They're also looking at helping and removing the last mile hurdle in this. So obviously, when Coal India is a monopoly at this point of time, there was bound to be fears, and this big sell-off did manage to come in. But on the flip side, it did, if you see here, it did manage to recover significantly from the day's low, and that was on account of what the company of what was said in terms of in terms of the Coal India's targets that they had set. So they are looking at targets of 1 billion MT. That was what the management of what the ministry did say, and that is why Coal India did manage to rebound in trade today.
All right, Darshan, thanks for getting us those updates. So that's Coal India for you. And moving on and getting in Sharad Dubey to talk to us about 2 other stocks that are also buzzing in trade today. Sharad.
Well, Agam, from the chemical space, as you had actually pointed out earlier, it is Navin Fluorine. The stock was up almost 5% today itself after the company stated in its press release that it has commenced the commercial production in its CGMP, the goods manufacturing practice, capacity addition at its Madhya Pradesh plant, which is located in the town of Devar. So the stock itself hit its lifetime highs, and over the last 2 trading sessions, it was increasing by almost more than 11%. Now let's see what the analysts have to say about the stock. So now if you see, the analysts have almost an 83% buy rating with almost a hold of a 17% rating. The return potential is less, that's around almost 15.6% considering the stock run up, and the 12-month target price is set at almost 917 rupees. Apart from this, the next stock we are going to address is Ramco Systems. The stock was up almost 4.5% today. In today's day's trade is the highest in almost a week. So basically the company has secured a multi-million-dollar digital solutions deal, coming in from the Australian university. So that is regarding the workforce and the payroll management system, which the company will give to the Australian university. The details we don't know yet, but we'll keep you posted once it comes in the exchanges. Now, if we see today, the stock's performance was pretty good, and over the last 2 trading sessions, I pointed out the stock had a run up, and it is going above the 100-day moving average and settled the day also above that. So that was a key average, which we were looking at over the last 3 trading sessions where there was a move. So Agam, these 2 stocks are buzzing in the space today.
Okay, fair enough. Sharat, thanks for getting us those details on the other 2 stocks which have been moving on volumes. Well, on that note, it's a wrap on the markets, but there's lots more lineup. Stay tuned to BloombergQuint.